everyone, today's video is all about Zamplebox. So I am very excited to start my first video and start my YouTube. It has been long awaited. I've been testing out certain cameras on certain things that I have, but I have decided to do it on a tablet. Anyhow, I am an intermediate vapor, I would say. I wouldn't say advanced expert, although I do know a little bit about dripping and that kind of thing. I don't really get into rebuilding, so that's not really my preference. My preference is to sub-ohm vape, which is my happy medium place where I tend to stay. I am a little bit different than most other people who vape. I can't really say that I switched from vaping to smoking. I just vaped. I would be one of the type of people who would smoke when I'm stressed or maybe when I'm drinking or that kind of thing, and I no longer do that. I just tend to vape if that happens. Maybe if something really drastic happens, then I'll choose to smoke, but that's very few and far between. I don't even have the urge to pick up a cigarette anymore. But I would like to help other people make the switch to vaping. It is a much better alternative. You smell better. I mean, everybody who vapes already knows this, but I am willing to help anyone out there maybe get started. When I get better, like when I'm farther in my video, I can help people do that and maybe do some giveaways and that kind of thing. But I'm not going to jump the gun on that since I don't know how far I'm going to go. But I just wanted to explain that a little bit, explain what setup I have, maybe what I was vaping before, my flavor preferences. I vape at 3 milligrams nicotine, and I maybe one day will go lower. It just depends. I did vape 6 milligrams. Sometimes I'll occasionally still vape 6 milligrams, but I'm vaping at 3 milligrams right now. And my favorite flavors are like dessert type vapes, cereal vapes, custardy vapes, anything that is sweet. I kind of tend to go to sweet vapes. So nothing chocolate though. I don't like tobacco vapes. I don't like anything like that. No menthol. Ugh, nothing like that. I did try a coconut vape and and it's here in my Zamplebox. I wasn't really happy with that one, but I have had another coconut vape. I'm pretty sure it had coconut in it. At least it was a tropical one. Gilligan's Island by G2. That one is really good. And I'm not for sure that it has coconut in it, but it was pretty good. Anyhow, I'll quit chitter chatting and I'll show you my Zamplebox. And this is my October Zamplebox. Sorry it's so late. I was just waiting to start my review queue, and I just decided just to do it. Even though I look like crap, even though I didn't fix myself up, it doesn't matter. If you guys are gonna like me, you're gonna like me. If you're not, you're not. That's just how it's gonna be. So here's my Zamplebox. I got the gold member, which is 6 flavors. And let's see here. I got 2 by Flat Clouds. The first one is a creamy coconut, and these are all max VG in 3 milligrams, which is my vaping preference. The other Flat Clouds one I got was a lemon custard. Check out that bottle of water. It's like the Mount Rushmore and all those heads on that one. This one is like a bridge. These are 80-20, the Fat Clouds are. And then I got G2, which is Vizilla, it's a vanilla buttercream. Kilo True Blue, which is a creamy blueberry custard. Yep. And Vizilla, actually the G2 Vapor one that I just said, on here it says it's only a creamy vanilla blend, but this is creamy buttercream, vanilla buttercream. And then I also got, this is the one that's in my tank now, Tug Sauce Regrets, which is a cinnamon apple cereal and milk with strawberries. I will say that the prominent flavor in that is obviously going to be the cinnamon. Whenever a cinnamon vape has other things in it, I've noticed that the cinnamon is always the dominant. And then strawberries, I really don't taste any strawberries in that unless I'm drinking something. Then maybe it kind of brings the strawberry out a little bit. And I'm not really getting milk either. So I really think that anybody that pairs cinnamon with an liquid, they really need to work on getting those other flavors out in it, because I'm not complaining about the juice by any means, so don't take that. Obviously, I'm vaping and I like it. And this is about to die, so I hope it doesn't die during the video. But anywho, my last juice is by Cape Fear Juice Company, and it is Revenge. This is the only dark plasticky bottle. All the other ones had the dripper things, and they were all sealed. This one that I just showed though is creamy vanilla custard pie with graham cracker crust. I don't feel like that one really tastes like that. And honestly, the only one that I didn't like, and I probably won't vape out of the whole box, is the coconut custard. And I love coconut, and I did vape it when I first got it. And that was the first one that I put in my tank, believe it or not, out of the cereal vapes, and that creamy coconut one with the vanilla crust. I was really surprised because those were right up my alley and what I liked. And I was really excited when I got my box. I mean, I still am, but I've just kind of grown tired of all these flavors, because I'll put like maybe that much, just enough to cover the top of my coil in there, and then once I get tired of it, I dump it into a cup and then I dispose of it, because I'm not one who likes to vape something for a long time unless it's something that I love, and that's really hard for me because I'm picky. So on my review channel, you can definitely guarantee that I am going to be honest with whatever I review. If I tell you my opinion on something, it is not going to be biased because, oh, this company sent me this. No, I'm going to give you my honest opinion, and I'm also going to be nice about it. I'm not going to knock any company by any means, because every company, I feel, has room for improvement, and they can see people who review them, and then they can move up from there on things. Like Zamplebox is constantly changing. I have watched someone who I review and someone who I watch almost every day on YouTube, and she's came so long, and she has just grown into a different person. Like on her review channel, like she used to be so shy, and she's just a complete different person now. Like everybody has room for improvement, and just like I will. This is my first video, and I'll have room for improvement as well. Okay, well, here I go with my chitter chatter. The only other thing I did want to mention beyond my Zamplebox was my setup, and that is going to be because the Innokin tanks. I am going to throw this out there. Nothing against Innokin. I like Innokin products and my Tesla 2 mod. When I got this, I reviewed it, and I finally decided, I was going to change from my Kangaroo Tech, which is just this little setup here. It's my boyfriend's now. Nothing too special. But when I went to switch from this, I ordered this in the mail, and I did not know, but this box, the charger thing, I knew that was on the bottom. No big deal. I can kind of just hang it off the side of my desk and leave it sitting up. But it's not a pass-through, and I really am upset about that. I didn't think it would be such a huge deal as it is, but I'm thinking about getting rid of this because of that. And I mean the tank for a few reasons, but my main reasoning for wanting to get rid of this is because of that. The charge life on this thing is great, and I would say for beginners it is great. And I honestly think once I charge this, it lasts me about 3 days, and then once it goes from blue, which is fully charged, to red, I don't know if you can see that. See, it's on red right now, and when it's fully charged, it'll be on blue. But once it goes to red, you still have, I think, like a day almost, or a few hours, so you can always charge it. And the tank, I'm honestly gonna say this and take it with a grain of salt, but the coils are so hard to wick. So if you're one like me who tends to vape Max VG juices, and I have not tested out this theory yet, although I have tested out something else with it, and I will mention that too. Max VG juices from my experience, are having a hard time wicking in this tank. I put it in there, I dripped juice all over my coil, I took it out, I dripped it on both sides, I dripped it in there, and this tank, the Anakin iSub, I think all Anakins have it, but this one for sure has it, has the little screen on it to where there's supposed to be no spitback, which I've had no issues with that, no spitback. But still, like 3 hours later, I'm sitting there playing video games with my boyfriend, and I'm like, what the heck? I was so upset because I had just received my tank that day. I think I had received my Zamplebox like the day prior. No, I hadn't received my Zamplebox yet. But I got this the day before, then I got my tank. It was kind of like all in a row, except differently how I ordered it. But anyway, it just kept tasting like cotton for hours and hours on end, and it really bummed me out because I was so looking forward to having a new tank, you know. And it's okay now. I don't have any issue with it tasting like cotton. Even if it gets low on juice, it doesn't, because it's good and whipped up. Obviously, now I've been using it. Oh, sorry. I got a little uncomfortable there. But, those were the only issues I had with that. And I will say, this is not a removable drip tip. And that is kind of a deal breaker for me, because I like to switch out my drip tip. And if I ever want to sell this, who's going to want to use it? I mean, obviously I've used it, you know. I mean, you can clean it with alcohol, but I wouldn't want to use something that somebody else previously used, you know, even if you clean it with alcohol. It's just kind of a preference. I'm kind of a germaphobe with that kind of stuff. But that is all of my issues with that. It could be minor to some people, could be a big deal to others, but I thought I would throw that out there because on the reviews that I saw from someone else who was using it, she never mentioned anything about any of that. I actually messaged her when I first got it and asked her if she had the same issue with the coils, and I never got a response from her, so I don't know. But that's definitely something I wanted to point out to anybody out there. So if you buy an Anakin tank, just be careful with your max VG levels, because I think that's honestly what the issue was. If you have a half and half PG VG, I don't think you'll have any issues, but you could. I mean, they might just take longer to wake up. But my next tank, I really want to try out that iSub Apex, the one that has, I'm pretty sure that's the name of it. It has the top where you turn it and you can have a top fill, and that might seem weird to some people, but I just think it would be awesome, you know, not to have to take it off and take it apart and fill it, turn it upside down, all that jazz, you know, just you know, you're all good. But that's all I have on my review for today, and if anybody has any questions, you feel free to ask. And today I am calling the White House about CASA and all of that for them passing. I'm not even going to get into that on today's video. I may get into it later, but I am calling. I did send an email, all that good jazz, because I do feel we should fight for our right to vape. I'm not going to try to push anybody else into it. I think it's a good idea so we can all keep our flavor, you know, the large amount of flavors and all of the different choices that we have right now. But to each his own. If you want to, I can pass the link along. I'm sure a lot of other people have already found it, but today is the day you're supposed to call the White House. And I am kind of nervous, actually. It's weird because they're not going to know who I am anyway, but I just kind of get nervous with that stuff. My social anxiety starts to kick in. But anyhow, that's all I have for today. If you like what you see, give it a thumbs up and feel free to subscribe. And thank you so much for watching.